Good morning, Kong Yu with you on Traxx Momentum. It is 11:15 a.m. on the clock. Joined at this hour by Yasmin Rashid, who is the president of Ecoknights and, of course, the head of the Malaysian Environmental NGOs Coalition as well. Yasmin, it's good to have you. It's good to see you as always.
It's good to be back, Kong Yu.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm fine.
Okay, and how's Ramadan going for you so far?
Ramadan has been very simple for me. Nothing extravagant so far.
Nice, right. Simplicity is good, isn't it? In a lot of ways.
Yes, it is. It's easier to handle.
We are talking about the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival, once again happening towards the second half of the year, isn't it?
Correct, in October.
And here is, I guess we're gearing up to it. Lots of different things happening. And tell us a bit about that. Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival isn't new. It's in its
eighth year.
Eighth year.
Yep.
For 2015. So it's been around for 7 years, and I recall last year there was like the Langkawi Eco Film Festival as well. So tell us a bit about maybe the background behind it to get those who maybe have not heard of it quite yet, and a little bit of history behind that and how it's evolved over the years.
Right. Back in 2008 when Ecoknights, the organization that I founded, was only about 3 to 4 years old, we realized that in this big world of trying to engage the public to be more aware or care more about the environment, a lot of the formulas or platforms that currently or existed back then were very targeted towards the already converted people who are aware about environmental issues. And they back then in 2008, I felt that they were not not enough mainstream platforms or functions that would gather even more masses to come on environmental issues. So and that gave birth to the idea of, hey, we know we thought about it, like how would it be if we actually kind of soften the pushing of the green agenda and create a platform where there's a multitude of activities for families to be engaged in. And so the Eco Film Fest was born out of that need, basically to make green appear in a more infotainment kind of style to the public. So, of course, the main focus was films.
Right.
But apart from films, there were a lot of like side activities and programs targeted at the family unit as well to enhance their understanding of environmental issues.
Do you feel that is general trend for the past, say, few years, which is basically to make the green agenda, a little bit more palatable, a little bit more hip in a way, so that it's a bit more mainstream? Yeah,
I think sometimes we tree huggers, or maybe I shouldn't say we're a little bit too purist in our approach. But not everyone out there is like that. So we got to soften it a little bit and make it a more lightweight, easy to digest material, and at the same time target at habitual change. So there are some people who find being an activist kind of modus operandi useful, but there are some ways where you kind of have to balance the both.
Right.
So instead of telling people, hey, it's wrong, like, hey, have you thought about, changing the way you use plastics? And I guess it's really just about communicating it differently to the general public.
That's right. And I think different people need different approaches.
Yes.
And it really is like, who are you targeting? Are you targeting the 10% who are kind of already environmentally conscious, or the other 50% who are intelligent and are able to process information, think about it, but they might not be, they might be a little bit turned off by too much preaching and all
hard
that.
Sell.
Hard sell. We are talking about the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival with Yasmin Rashid right here on Traxx Momentum. If you just joined us, for the film festival itself, how has it changed? The positioning was, yes, to, like you said, create like a family affair that's suitable for all walks of society, different parts of the family, so that they're interested in environmental issues through film. And has that changed a little bit as well through the years, through the 7 editions?
That has changed a lot. In fact, I think every year we do leaps and bounds of changes, because also there's a lot to learn. First and foremost, we're not a festival organizer. I mean, that's not the main thing that we do. So coming on board this festival bandwagon, it was a very steep learning curve. And over the years, since we started in 2008 right up to now, even the kind of films we screen have changed. We started off in 2008 with only documentaries. And then we realized not everyone likes documentaries, not everyone likes serious materials and so forth. So this year we have already evolved to have films that are screened in 8 genres: animation, short films, feature films, even public service announcements. So we cater to a wide range of audience who like different kind of genre of films, and also cater to the local filmmakers who are interested to look at the different genres, or who are already experts in the different genres. So that's one element that has evolved. And also thematically, we are evolving. We just had a Skype call yesterday with an indigenous film festival organizer. We hope to collaborate so that we can have a specific section of the film screening called thematically addressing only indigenous issues.
Wow. Okay.
Meaning getting filmmakers aboard. We've also talked about running a workshop to educate filmmakers. How do you successfully communicate a strong message, especially about indigenous communities, using film? So I think this is something Malaysian filmmakers need a lot. We have so much stories to tell in our own home country.
Yeah, if you think about it, I think it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The number of possible material, I guess.
I know. Above the sea, below the sea, we have tons of it. Even the people are interesting stories to tell, but I guess we need to perhaps advance a little bit more and be better storytellers, not let the Net Geo guys do the storytelling so much.
Interesting. Well, we'll chat more about the content and the plans for the film festival when we return with Yasmin Rashid in just a bit. It is happening on October 17th to 19th, 2015 at Publica. This is the 2015 edition of the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival. More details in just a while. Stay tuned right here on Traxx. Welcome back to Traxx Momentum. Kong Yu with you on the show. Joined us by Yasmin Rashid, who is here to talk about the Kuala Lumpur, Eco Film Festival happening from October 17th to 19th at Publica. The 2015 edition. Nice.
Nice.
And
excited.
8th year. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Long way to go.
You've come a long way as well, I'm sure. You were talking about the one aspect of the program this year that you're working on, and that's to emphasize actually, or to help in the process of telling indigenous stories, isn't it? Via film. How's that going? I mean, is that going to be part of the festival itself?
We just had a virtual Skype meeting yesterday with some of our partners in the UK as well as in Indonesia, and we do have a broad selection of films about indigenous communities in Asia, as well as in South America and Africa and so forth. And I think we are keen to collaborate because there's an opportunity to kind of reach out to more public. We actually need more eyeballs to view these films, and also to get feedback and how they felt about these issues, because the UK counterpart is interested to bring the feedback of the audience to Paris in September during the next COP. So we're hoping that this would be a bottom-up kind of approach to pressure world leaders to look at the critical aspects of protecting indigenous communities and the lands that they live on. So I think indigenous communities globally, to a large extent, face the same kind of threats.
Right.
Whether they're in Peninsula or in Indonesia. And unfortunately, we're gradually wiping them out. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for the frank comment. And of course, it's a whole big issue at large. Yeah. For the film festival itself, Yasmin, is there a theme? I mean, do you work on themes every year, or is there a theme for this year, or do you look at a different angle to things? For example, is the indigenous people, is that the main goal or the main aspect for this year?
No, indigenous films on indigenous communities is just an a segment of all the films that we're going to screen.
Okay.
But in general, we look at films that address a broad range of environmental issues. First of all, it has to be about environment and people.
Yeah.
So it could range from, and this is on our website, it could range from films about climate change and impact on communities. It could be about a particular person that has been doing heroic deeds in terms of, trying to raise awareness or planting trees and so forth. So we list all these possibilities on the website for filmmakers to kind of consider whether they would like to submit a film or not. Because the film festival has a competition component to it. And filmmakers from all over compete to win the categories that are being offered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have the best documentary film, best animation, best short film, and and right now submissions is still open right up till Sunday, June 28th. So if any Malaysian filmmakers is tuning in right now, we highly encourage you to submit any of your films, and as well as TV producers, because we understand in a lot of the production world, a lot of people work for TV stations that have, short documentaries on environmental issues or news report. We also encourage those kind of submissions to the festival.
That's great. Is the award aspect, is that new, or is that the general?
No, it has always existed.
It's always been there.
It's always been there. Of course, there's the official selection component, which are films that we have strategically selected. One, because we like it. Mm-hmm. Number two, because it has also won multiple awards internationally and is normally screened as a national premiere in this region. So these are normally, I guess you can say, more blockbuster kind of films as well, and narrated by more, more celebrities. And so
right?
forth. Yeah.
Like I think Julia Roberts has done.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson, right. Leonardo DiCaprio. Mm-hmm. So we're not sure which other official selections for this year. We'll be announcing that in a month. And the public can actually log on to our website closer to October. They can actually view all the kind of films that are being screened and the times and the dates. And they can actually also book their seats online, especially for those who really want to get good seats for their favorite films. They may do so online, and you show up on that day and we'll key in your code and you have the front row seats. That's
a great idea. I think nowadays people like that. They like to book seats online.
It's easy.
For their movies and films and whatnot. Mm-hmm. What else is going to be in the film festival that's being planned at the moment? I think we have to date about 9 workshops planned. Workshops vary from workshops on upcycling for children, making Christmas decorations out of everyday waste materials. Hopefully in October it's timely enough to make Christmas decorations for December. Yeah, nowadays it is. Because once they take the workshop, then they might not work on it immediately. They find a weekend to work on it, and lo and behold, it'll be Christmas then.
Yeah, I know. This time passes too fast these days. We also have a variety of workshops meant for teenagers and youth. We have a workshop on how do you start a green blog, meant for university students in either journalism or broadcasting or communication. We'll probably have a filmmaking workshop, and as I mentioned earlier, teaching partially technical skills, and the other half of the workshop would be about how do you write a award-winning story and make it into a film. So these kind of workshops, some of them are free. Some of them you have to sign up because materials are, especially for the children's workshop, materials are provided. And apart from these workshops, which people can sign up, we also have a green market segment where we want to promote sustainable consumption and production. And that's the part where we encourage exhibitors or vendors who have, really nice eco-friendly products or services to promote to join the green market.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. That's happening October 17th to 19th at Publica. I'm talking about the 2015, the 8th edition.
8th, yes.
Ooh, of the Kuala Lumpur Eco
it's
Film
a lucky
Festival.
Number.
Well, it is. It is lucky if you believe it's lucky. And I think there are enough people who believe that 8 is a lucky number. So it's going to be lucky. One more segment with Yasmin Rashid coming right up. And make sure you keep it right here on Traxx. You're back on Traxx Momentum's interview of the hour. It's all about the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival 2015 happening from October 17th to 19th at Publica Kuala Lumpur. And here to talk about it is, of course, Yasmin Rashid, who has been with me since the start of the hour. And she is the boss of Ecoknights, as well as the Malaysian Environmental NGOs Coalition, which is an umbrella group of many NGOs who work together to create awareness about the importance of conservation and, of course, other environment-related issues. Great stuff, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And this part of the festival itself,
right,
is a key part of that same agenda, the same aspect of basically promoting more awareness of the environment. Has it been, how shall we say it, has it been working to the extent that you see people who come to view these films, to watch the films, and then they come back maybe the next year, and then they've become different people, and they've, maybe spread the word around? I mean, what have you seen in terms of the impact that the film festival has had on the people at large?
I get asked that question a lot. Mm-hmm. How do we track a change in habit or mindset from a previous visitor festival goer last year and this year? There's various segments of the kind of audience that comes in. Many, oftentimes, since 2008, we do have familiar faces that are coming back repeatedly every year. Mm-hmm. We can tell they're the regulars because they bring their jackets. And they bring their own cups and mugs. Okay, and are very dedicated. And one also because we don't screen the films too many times, mm-hmm, so there's only that opportunity. And these people are the kind that would be the ones that would talk a lot post-screening of the films. Ask questions,
ask
a lot of questions, get angry, get frustrated. We had some people who, it was just a film about what Malaysian companies were doing to Papua New Guineans, and it riled up emotionally the entire crowd. Like, how could we be doing this to indigenous communities in a different country? And one lady stood up with a hat, and she took out her hat and she asked the filmmaker, like, what would be required right now that we can do? And he was like, medication. There's no way there's no medication for these people. And in 10 minutes, during the discussion, the screening, she raised 800 ringgit and gave it to the filmmaker and said, this is our contribution to go back and buy medication for the people.
Okay, and did she go like, okay, who would like to contribute to this? Raise your hand.
She stood up in the audience. Okay. Very bold lady. She's like, are you as ashamed as I am about how I feel Malaysians are treating? So you get this kind of audience. And then you have the students that come in, which we always find out only during that day or when they're around, that they have been giving assignments to come and either analyze the films or watch the films and write about it as part of their assignments. So I hope these are... What has happened is I can observe that sometimes the film screenings acts as a educational platform for people to manipulate or use, which to me I'm using these words in a very nice way,
right, as in like positive way.
Positive way. And I like seeing this kind of dynamism going on there. As to whether people change or not, I think change is something that doesn't happen overnight, neither does it happen in 12 months. I've been a lot of things I'm trying to change that hasn't happened in years as well. But I think the tipping point is you got to get them aware enough, and you got to get people in conversations about them. That's why in most of the films that we screen, a discussion is inevitable. You can't just click play and then click pause and then let them go.
Right. People
like to talk about it. And if you're a Star Wars enthusiast, you know how Star Wars fans just talk about everything about in those movies. But I guess the more tangible part would be the workshops. The workshops are easy to monitor. Because, like, for instance, when I run my composting workshop and I make sure they run through the whole workshop before I give out a free bin.
Right.
We actually monitor what happens if they do actually start their composting after that.
Do you call them, or do you like, surprise
We
them?
know they will call us because everyone's afraid of getting maggots in your bin. So what we do is we always have this WhatsApp kind of communication.
Chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, can you take a picture of what your bin looks like right now? And most of the time, by 2 weeks, we'll get this best because some may have done it wrongly,
Right.
and they're worried about smell and pests and all that. So that's one way how we kind of follow up with the workshop participants and say, hey, have you done this
Right.
yet?
Hopefully no one doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, if you take the bin and don't do anything, I don't know.
Please give it back to us.
Yeah, maybe it's a nice piece of furniture in the garden.
Right. So it's
Yeah.
easier to monitor follow-up behavior when it comes to workshop participants, yeah?
Yeah.
And in general, when it comes to the film screenings, you get an instant reaction, which is great. In the example that you gave us. And the other one, like I said, the resulting change is a long-term process, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of the things I share with you, since, I started hosting this segment and talking to people like you is, I'm just a little bit better, I think, at disposal of waste and all that. Not so good at the accumulation of things that I may not need yet. But at least when it comes to disposal, I keep plastic spoons. I store them. I don't use them. I store them because you can't really give it away because a lot of it comes with the package.
Yeah.
So I just keep it. I don't use it. So it's in a drawer and it's accumulating.
Comes in handy when you have to go to a party somewhere and
That's
you can
right.
contribute spoons.
And then they don't need to buy,
Yes.
isn't it? So I was thinking about that ahead. And the other thing is batteries. Like I was just, I had to change some studio batteries that were part of the remote control. And I was like, okay, I'll provide the batteries. So I'm like, what do I do with these? It made me think, and I know I'm not supposed to really just throw them in the trash. So where am I supposed to put them?
Well, for me, I those balang kueh, the one with the red lid, I put all my batteries there. And until it's full, I send it to my office because our office is actually a recycling or drop-off center
Right.
for e-waste.
Okay.
So maybe when I meet you next, you can pass me your batteries and I'll just bring it into the
Okay,
office.
or I'll start a balang myself and do what you're doing and then eventually pass it to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it just gets me thinking like that. Small things.
Very small things, but collectively, if 30 million of us do it, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. That really puts it in perspective, yeah. Okay, details. 17th to 19th October. It's screening of films, and will they be, what's the sort of itinerary like? Maybe we can just quickly run through that.
Well, it'll kick off on Friday, and on Friday we'll actually start with the award ceremony, where we actually, by then we would know who are the winners and give out all the awards. And normally Friday night screening is Asian Film Night, which means these are environmental films from the ASEAN region. And Saturday, Sunday would be a full marathon from 11 a.m. right up to 10 p.m. of various kind of films. We have not announced the film screening schedule yet because filmmakers are still submitting their films. That will come out probably towards July, and we will announce it on our website. So keep an eye out on the kind of films you want to watch because seats per screening is only about 180. And children are welcome. We also will probably label some of the films according to, whether it's children friendly or not.
Right.
And we'll probably time it all back to back so that families can enjoy bringing their children to learn about environmental issues as well. Yeah.
So the best way to do is just keep an eye out for the website.
Join our Facebook group. I forgot that.
Yeah, that too, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are updated stuff there.
It's if you talk about daily updates, Facebook is always the better option, yeah?
Yeah.
And it would be KL Eco Film Fest? What would it-
Yes, it's Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Fest. It's a mouthful. You will find us there. We have a little yellow eye staring back at you.
It will pop up when you do a search.
Yes. And do like us. And also we're on Instagram, and so forth. So, between now and October, we'll be doing a lot of road shows. We are actually encouraging public to contact us if you like to host a film screening. So, for instance, if Traxx FM wants to host a screening during lunchtime to educate your colleagues about environmental issue in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. We can accommodate that. We also go to high schools and even offices.
Nice. Okay, and the main festival itself, the festival, is happening October 17 and 19, and the website is www.ecofilmfest.my. Will be updated in July, and with the latest details and so on and so forth. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And it's, I guess it's, 4 months from now?
Yeah.
It will come by really fast.
In a blink.
As all things, yeah. We've been speaking with Yasmin Rashid from Ecoknights, as well as the Malaysian environmental NGOs group Mango. I have not said the word mango all interview today. That's how we refer to the...
Sounds delicious.
Coalition. Yeah, it does sound delicious. Wrapping up today's interview on the Kuala Lumpur Eco Film Festival right here on Traxx Momentum.